Responding to comments tonight, and here's what you write. You say YouTube needs to ban her fur. I don't have any fur. Daily dose of internet turned a leaf into a meat leaf. Are you mad? One person doesn't make a difference. That is not true. Look how much of a difference Hitler made. That makes perfect sense. I know exactly what you mean. What you're trying to say is that you love my necklace and that you want to buy one because it reminds you of tofu because it starts with the letter T. Of course you make a difference. I'm making a huge difference. Literally millions and millions of people have heard the vegan message from me. I don't wear fur. I don't believe in ripping the skin off of an innocent animal. And combined with hearing it from others, like you, once you become vegan, will make an amazing difference to the world. We are helping to save the animals, but also we are saving human lives. So everybody wins when you become vegan.
So you probably know that Vegan Teacher has not only compared individuals like Call Me Chris or August the Duck or, other creators to Hitler, but also just people in general to him, to the mustache man. But now she's even gone as far as comparing herself to him. Now, I don't think she meant to in the way that she did, but I mean, it only takes so many ridiculously stupid takes to start revealing your own hands, right? And that's precisely what she has done here. And it is hilarious. But not just that, but we've got a whole list of ridiculous shorts she's made in the last week or so of her typically addressing people's comments. And this is comedy gold, okay? You've struck a gold mine with this video. I hope you're ready for some entertainment because it's about to get entertaining. All right, let's get into it. All right, so this is a comment that comes up pretty often where people are saying that YouTube needs to ban her. And she always responds by like deflecting because she doesn't want to hear that. She's a narcissist. She doesn't want to hear that people hate her and don't want her to be platformed. And so she does this little mental gymnastics, like this mental backflip. Her brain just does like some crazy flips, some somersaults in there. And it's got a lot of space to work with because her brain's about the size of an average walnut. So it can do all those flips without, doing too much damage to itself. Anyway, this is no exception.
Responding to the fourth comment today, and here's what you have to say. You say YouTube needs to ban her fur. I don't have any fur. I don't wear fur. I don't believe in ripping the skin off of an innocent animal. Which reminds me, today I was at the market and I saw this woman. She had a purse and it looked like it was definitely the hair from a cow. Like you could pet it almost like, not just leather, but like with the hair on it still. And I said to her, like, why are you wearing that? Why are you supporting such cruelty? And she said, well, I respect you, so you should respect me. And I said, no, I don't respect you at all. Why should I respect somebody who hurts innocent animals? It's absolutely horrific what people do, Anyway, you seem to also want skeletons to be banned. I'm not sure why. Nothing wrong with skeletons. And also you want nail polish banned. Not sure why.
Nothing wrong with skeletons. I got a problem with the one I'm currently looking at, but I digress.
Either. But hey, I was a nurse, right? And we were not allowed to wear nail polish in Canada because nail polish was...
All right, she just starts rambling about nail polish. Pretty unentertaining, uninteresting if you ask me. Let's talk about this, right? The skeleton thing's actually kind of funny. That's not what they meant, but, after she said it like that, it made me realize, I'm like, hey, maybe this person accidentally was pointing at you because you're the skeleton here. Kind of look a little bit like one of these sometimes, kind of look like one of those. But yeah, I firmly agree with the sentiment that YouTube needs to ban this woman. And it's not because, I think that what she's saying is like breaking guidelines or anything. No, I think she's done some things that actually have violated YouTube policies. Like for instance, using my full legal name in her videos and thumbnails, and then putting defamatory statements about me stabbing and murdering animals and assaulting women, literally defamatory lies about me, which is against YouTube terms of service. And I reported her for that, and YouTube told me to go fuck myself. So whatever, I guess. And she hasn't just done this to me, but she's done similar things to other people, which is pretty interesting because those people actually ended up getting banned. Seems like justice is nowhere to be found. Anyway, her little mental gymnastic for this one is about fur because she doesn't know FR means for real. She knows what it means. She just likes to play dumb because if she doesn't do these mental gymnastics to protect her ego, then she just falls apart. You know, I've seen snippets from her lives where people actually got under her skin, which apparently it's not as hard to do on her lives. But yeah, you can see the defeat in her face. It's there. But on these videos, she likes to act like she's in control when she's not. And she'll never be.
Comments, and you write, I'm lying in bed and responding to different people's comments, and you write that you think that wool and feathers can be vegan. And I'm not sure what exactly you're trying to teach my audience here, but be very careful. Wool
What?
comes
What are you
from
gonna
pinning
do?
down a sheep who is terrified and hurting her and shaving off wool that belongs
What are you
to
gonna do,
her,
you frail raggedy
not
bitch?
you. In the industry, workers are paid for how quickly they do this job, so they grab the sheep in an assembly line fashion, smash them on the ground, and hurt them, hurt their muscles and their bones, and terrify them. And
She's lying. I mean, there may be some industries that do mistreat their animals like this. Generally speaking, at least in the United States, no, it's not conducted like that at all. It doesn't help them, doesn't help the animals, and there's also laws, animal cruelty laws in the United States, even in these types of industries, to protect animals from this type of misbehavior, this type of malpractice. When it comes to shearing sheep, first off, it is a kindness to the sheep because for hundreds of years we've bred these little guys to produce way too much wool, way more than they'll ever need in multiple lifetimes. And without human intervention, us getting little clippers out and shearing that wool off of them, they will actually suffer tremendously and die. It's a real thing. Want to know more about it? You can do a quick Google search. So this is one of the reasons, right, that I say vegans like that vegan teacher don't actually care about animals. It's all about moral superiority. To her, it's morally superior to let these sheep suffer and have animals and bugs eat at them, and the wool cause them to overheat and die. It's more morally superior to do that because you don't wear or take the wool off of them, because that's just so unbelievably selfish and you gain so much as a human from doing that. So what they would rather the sheep suffer and actually do something that doesn't just benefit them but also benefits humans. So whatever. In reality, it's nothing like what she described. She just likes to try to make things sound as awful as possible so that people think twice about putting on something made of wool. Well, I'm afraid it doesn't work. Most people either A, don't give a shit, or 2, are too smart to eat up your bowl.
responding to comments tonight, here's what you write. Daily dose of internet turned a leaf into a meat leaf. Are you mad? That makes perfect sense. I know exactly what.
She's bad. You can tell by the way she did that. Yeah, she's mad. She knows she's mad. She's trying to hide it. She's trying to hide. She'll do some mental gymnastics to act like that didn't piss her off, but we know it did.
What you mean. What you're trying to say is that you love my necklace and that
And
you
there's
want
the
to buy
deflection.
one because it reminds you of tofu because it starts with the letter T, right?
There you go. The legendary vegan teacher, mental gymnastics, when she gets asked something that she doesn't like and she just responds with, ha ha ha, look at something completely different. The typical deflection. It's sad. It's pathetic. This woman has completely lost her marbles if she ever had any to begin with. And I would normally feel bad to watch somebody mentally deteriorate like this, but she's a horrible human being. In fact, there was a time where people were threatening to dox and harm her, and I, condemned those people, made a video about it, and she saw that video and responded by being racist and talking shit and attacking me. So there is no saving this woman. All we can do, since she hasn't been deplatformed, even though she should be, all we can do is continue to laugh and make fun of her ridiculous bullshit, because that's what she wants to be. She wants to be a clown. She'll be treated like a clown. Also, I just want to mention, and it's not like her content's harmless. If you ever look at her comments, you'll find that oftentimes there are children in there, young children, who are eating up her nonsense and becoming vegan and actually hurting themselves because of that vegan teacher. She is actually actively doing harm to children. Her videos are harmful and dangerous for people. And that is another important reason that people continue to dispel the vegan propaganda, the vegan bullshit that people just like her spread all across the internet. And that's one reason that I'm not going to stop talking about vegan propaganda especially since now that the new wave vegans are going to be forcing vegan diets on children and causing irreparable harm to them. Like, there needs to be people out there who are talking about this and actually spreading the word of truth about veganism, instead of allowing these people to cherry pick and sugarcoat all types of vegan rhetoric nonsense that makes it look like it's completely rational and healthy even for developing children, when it's not. There's not a single study out there that even makes an argument that veganism is healthy for children. It does not exist.
Here and responding to some of your comments, and here's a very strange one. Somebody says, can you try and eat meat for the first time, please? First of all, meat is spelt M-E-A-T. Second of all, I don't know why you are assuming that I've never eaten animals before. I've stated multiple times that I've eaten them most of my life.
You know, and that's just so crazy. We're going to talk about this for a second. We're going to come back to this one. It's the fact that she ate meat up until about 8 years ago. She's only been vegan for about 8 years. She's over 60 now. So she's been vegan she was eating meat for more than 50 years of her life. And yet now she thinks she's this beacon of empathy and ethics and morality. Why didn't you come to that conclusion sooner? It doesn't take a fucking genius to understand that pork comes from a pig that was killed in the farming industry. Like, you know that. You make that connection. Even as a child, you make that connection. Nobody is hiding it from you. No one is hiding it for you. That information is always readily available, and I bet it's even more available during her time, back in the times of the American Revolution. But back then, she probably saw her parents go out and kill the pig, to feed to her. But anyway, seriously, what the hell, like, what makes you think that you are morally superior to other people? I haven't eaten meat for half as long as you have. Well, just about half now, because I'm 27, so a little bit more than half now. So I've eaten effectively probably half as many animals as you have, maybe even less, because I only eat like chicken and fish occasionally. I don't eat a lot of meat. I eat like 80% like plant-based, and I don't even consume dairy. So if you think about it, I've consumed significantly less animal products. And if you judge people on, their goodness or whatever by whether or not they eat animals, then you should also consider how much animals they've eaten. So that makes you, by your standards, a fucking demon. Like, you might be up there with like Satan's right-hand man with how evil you are, according to how many animals have gone through your digestive system. So why should anybody take anything you say seriously when you are quite literally the wicked witch? By your own logic, by your own standards anyway. You think, oh, because you quit being vegan, that now you're suddenly a good person? It doesn't work that way. If you treat animals, right, as like equivalent to human beings, right? That's what you and Tosh Peterson say. So by your logic, you basically have been like Hannibal Lecter. You have been eating people, by your logic, for 50 years. You have been consuming what you believe to be equivalent to human beings for 50 years, and then suddenly you stopped and now you're all a good person. If an actual serial killer was killing and eating humans for 50 years, they would get the electric chair immediately, like same day shipping. Like, you know what? They wouldn't even take one to prison. They bring the electric chair to them. Like, that is how much of a problem, how much of a menace that person would be. But suddenly she thinks because she gave it all up that now she's been redeemed. It doesn't work like that, lady. If you really think animals are equivalent to human beings, then you are worse than the worst serial killers on this planet. Let's see what else she had to say in this one.
I decided to become vegan because I didn't want to be part of a cycle of violence. Like you, I started off just by going to different vegan sites and learning little by little.
Just like you.
One day you will be vegan too, and you will get
Sure.
a comment like this.
You keep
and
telling
you will
yourself
laugh,
that. Keep
because you will
telling
think,
yourself that.
Ah, yes, I remember writing that on Miss Katie's timeline.
Keep telling yourself that.
But the strange thing is that you're asking me to please eat a defenseless animal right now. That's what you're asking me. Doesn't that seem strange to you?
Yeah, hey, nobody said it had to be a defenseless one. Maybe you can go hunt a wild bear. Maybe you can actually get a challenge. Something that can fight back. Go hunt a cougar. Or, something that can put your life at risk. Then it's not defenseless. It's life or death in that situation. It's kill or be killed. Maybe that's what you should do. It doesn't have to be a defenseless animal. Go out there and challenge yourself. Make it hard. Make it risky. Put your life on the line. Maybe consider that. Anyway, I know you guys heard me constantly saying that, you keep telling yourself that. Yeah, she's so far gone. She really thinks that she's converting people. She's so sad. Even more sad and pathetic than I could have ever even imagined. You keep dreaming, because I'm afraid the only world where this is real is in that little tiny mushroom-sized brain of yours.
You say that you respect that I'm vegan. Well, that's a very strange thing to say. Would you ever walk up to somebody who's not racist towards people and say to them, I really respect that you are not racist towards people? Isn't that just bizarre? Of course you respect me. I'm not racist towards people or animals. But then you say you don't like how I attack others. Well, I don't attack others. I simply tell them not to stab animals, not to steal their eggs or their milk or their honey or their freedom or...
Is she serious? Is she serious? Does she not, remember all the attacks she's made against Gordon Ramsay, Call Me Chris, Tommy Innit, Sniper Wolf, me, August the Duck, Mr. Beast? I don't know if I already said that. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Does she not know? This woman has been viciously attacking me. In fact, she tried to dox me. She asked people for my employer's phone number so that she could contact them and lie to them and get me fired. What are you talking about? Offense is the only thing you know. All you do is attack people, you sad, pathetic witch. What is she talking about? Also, this person said they respect you. I bet they don't anymore. They probably changed their mind after hearing this. You know what? Maybe I don't respect you. And the fact that she makes that little chuckle, of course you respect me. Most people actually, I'm sorry, but don't actually respect psychotic lunatics like you. In fact, it's a very normal thing to have no respect for people like you. People who don't respect others typically aren't deserving of respect themselves. And you are a classic example of an absolute maniacal nutcase who does not respect other human beings. And you never will. What does veganism really come down to? I believe that my moral understanding of the world is superior to everyone else's, and you're trying to somehow prove that. And it's a mistake that so many of these types make, is that there is no such thing as a objective moral truth, right? You could say that murder is bad is an objective moral truth. Not necessarily. If somebody attacks you and you kill them, which is considered murder in some shape or form, then you would not consider it bad. Well, I guess I'm a little bit wrong. That's killing. Murder is considered unjust or whatever, right? So then you could say killing might be an objective moral truth, but even then some people will be like, that's objective. I just killed my 5th person last night. Or people in the army, one might consider a lot of what they're doing to be unjust. And I'm not going to get political or anything, but people that invade certain countries over land and things like that, and they kill a bunch of innocent people, to them, it's not unjust. It's not morally incorrect to do so. They think they're in the moral right. That's why you can't even say that's an objective moral truth. There is no such thing. There really isn't. The only things that can be objective aren't ideas. They're facts. Only facts can be objective. And so making this argument that killing animals is objectively wrong across the board, you've got nothing to work with. The vast majority of people will say, no, that's not true if there is a reason for it, I want food. You just really, the vegans just don't have anything to work with here, and that's why the veganism movement has stalled and is failing terribly.
Well, I'm in bed and it's pitch dark, but I thought I would respond to your comment. First of all, you tried to criticize me because of my age. Well, age is just a fact of life. I wonder if you're also mean to your grandmother, or maybe your great-grandmother. Seems like a very strange thing to comment on. It's actually called ageism. Ageism is a kind of prejudice.
Oh, she's got an ageism for everything. She's racism, ageism, speciesism, old womanism, veganism, I guess. I don't know. Vegan phobiaism. I don't even know at this point.
Just the same as sexism or the same as racism. So my advice to you is be kinder and don't refer to the way a person looks or to their age, because it has nothing to do with anything in this case.
That's not true, actually.
The next thing I want to talk
about
is when you say that I am forcing you to be vegan. The fact of the matter is, nobody is forcing you to be here. You came here on your own. And if I really was forcing you, then you would be vegan now, right? The next sentence that you write is you say it's your choice. And you're absolutely right. It is your choice, just like it's your neighbor's choice if they want to kick their cat, or your other neighbor's choice if he wants to stab his dog.
All right, she's talking a
It
bunch of
is your
bullshit now. So the reason I say this like age or like even appearance thing actually is relevant in these cases of veganism is there is this correlation with veganism and like unnecessarily rapid aging. Like I'm sure many of you have likely noticed that many vegan people seem to look like they're aging very quickly. Vegan Teacher is just one example, and she tends to look better in her shorts because YouTube does some like AI stuff to make you look a little bit better. But when you like actually just see like a raw Vegan Teacher video or picture of just her without any sort of filtering or effects, like you know that she looks at least 10 years older than she is. She's 60 years old, and I think realistically to most people, she looks like she's at least in her mid 70s, and that's sad. That's sad, and it has a lot to do probably with her choice to be vegan. And I've seen other people who are experiencing the same thing. Now, I'm going to be kind to them this time, but if you want to know who I'm talking about, I've already made some videos on some of these people. You might have to dig through and see who I'm talking about. But there's another vegan I came across recently who I will not mention by name, at least not this time. And she is aging terribly. Horribly. Does not look good at all. There's some musicians I listen to who are vegan who have aged absolutely terribly, and it's no surprise. Like when you deprive your body of such important nutrients for your skin health and all of that, yeah, you're gonna age. You're gonna look like a wrinkled up leather handbag after some time. And Vegan Teacher is no exception. So when it comes to this thing, you have to be realistic about, the health, your health, obviously the nutrition, how it affects you, your physical appearance, your aging, all of it. Like all that stuff is important because those are things that affect your life as a human being. And if you're going to make a choice to be vegan, you need to know everything. You need to know all the possible risks, all the challenges that you might face. Like, do you want to look like you're 20 years older than you are right now? If the answer is no, then maybe veganism isn't for you. Now, this doesn't mean that everybody who's vegan ages terribly. It's not true. It's just that it does affect many people in that negative way. Now, some people, again, I've mentioned previously, have better genetics than others. Veganism is much kinder to their body than it would be for someone else.
responding to comments tonight, and here's what you write. One person doesn't make a difference. That is not true. Look how much of a difference Hitler made to make the world a worse place. And look what a difference Jesus made to make the world a kinder place.
Dude, it's just so funny that the first person she thinks of is fucking Hitler. Why is she comparing herself to Hitler? We're gonna have to come back to that. We're gonna have to come back to that. That's a good thing to talk about.
Of course you make a difference. I'm making a huge difference. Literally millions and millions of people have heard the vegan message from me. And
Dude, I get more views than you. I don't make shorts, but like on my long form videos. Yeah, you're not making. Why is she lying to herself? She's lying to herself and the few fans that she has. Look at your comments. You have to hide like 90% of your comments because it's people just talking shit about you and they can't stand you. They want you deplatformed. You're a horrible person. Your methods don't work. And you keep lying to yourself and trying to convince yourself that you're making a difference. Well, I'm here to give you a fucking reality check. The only difference you're making, either A, making people's days miserable, or B, making them way more enjoyable when they come here and watch me talk shit about you. That's the difference you're making. Really good one, by the way. Oh, and if we want to talk about the other little subtle difference that you're making, less people are vegan because of you, and more people are never going to become vegan because of you. Congratulations on that wonderful difference you're making. I'm sure the animals are very, very happy with you.
Combined with hearing it from others, like you once you become vegan, will make an amazing difference to the world. We are helping to save the animals who are suffering terribly, but also we are saving human lives because the more vegan foods that you eat, the healthier you will be, and also the planet. So everybody wins when you become vegan. So when will it be your turn? You can do it. You can do it. You can start.
I can't. Oh my God, I can't. Whew. Oh, I couldn't contain myself. Oh, she believes this shit. Does she? I mean, when you tell yourself a lie enough times, you do start to believe it. I think she's told herself this lie like probably 100 times a day. She's probably like rolling around at bed at night. She's like, I'm making a difference. I'm making a difference. I'm making a difference. People are becoming vegan because of me. I'm changing the world. I'm making the world a better place. I'm really doing it. Guys, people are becoming vegan. And she like, tosses in her bed and wakes up. And then she's like, yeah, that's what's happening. All those people who told me that I am an old Minecraft skeleton looking piece of shit and I should be deplatformed, they didn't actually mean that. They were just announcing their vegan declaration day. They'll be vegan in a month. I'm making millions of people vegan every single day. I'm doing a good job. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's really, 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 really sad and pathetic. I have no better way to put it. But I promised I would talk about the Hitler thing again. Now, I'll be honest, she's obviously not like Hitler. I'm sure if she somehow became like the global power or something like that and led an entire country, yeah, she probably would declare war on non-vegans, and she probably would try to take over the world if she had the power. So if she had the power and the authority of Hitler, then yeah, she probably would eradicate human beings. I mean, she said it, that humans deserve to be eradicated. She's made that statement before. So if she was able to, if people took her seriously and she rose to power and had like millions of vegan cultists as like working Nazis for her, then yeah, she probably would set up concentration camps for non-vegans and either try to force you to be vegan. If you choose not to be, then you'll probably be starved and killed. So yeah. It's just a matter of you don't have the same power as Adolf Hitler to do the things that Adolf Hitler would do as a vegan, I guess. He was vegetarian, by the way, and was really big on animal welfare. So there are some similarities between the two of you. So I can kind of see why you made the comparison. Now with Jesus, you're referencing, biblical gospel or whatever. Not everybody believes in the Bible. Not everybody believes in the existence of Jesus. So if you want to stay grounded in fact and perceived reality for most people, then that's not really the way to go. There are few individuals throughout history who alone have made a massive impact. I mean, even with Hitler, again, it's because he was able to get people to follow him and build him up to be able to make such a massive impact on the world. But that is an extremely, extremely, extremely rare feat. A better example, which I would never allow yourself to compare to, would be like Martin Luther King Jr. or, Rosa Parks, which she has compared herself to, which never do that shit again. That is disgraceful. I mean, you shouldn't even be put in the same sentence as actual great people, but for this time, I will let it slide as I use it as criticism. But yeah, you don't even compare to those people. Your cause is trash. What you're doing is trash. Everything about you is trash. You keep making videos embarrassing yourself, and I'll be right there to laugh at you, just like everybody else. And the difference is with my comments, these users aren't getting blocked. So if you want to look at what people really think about you, have a look. Look below. Get a dose of reality.